Sunday, everybody. Welcome to a new Sunday video. Finally got some time. Very excited about today because it is Division Day. Got everybody's name nice and folded up, nice mixing bowl, so that way we can get divisions drawn today. I'll be drawing them overhead, so you guys know I did not cheat. Got everybody's name listed, co-owners as well. Very excited, guys, to get divisions drawn because it means so much this year. Making sure that we play in 8 division games, 5 non-division games, which real quick brings me to scheduling. I'm going to let ESPN generate the schedule, and then I will adjust it to fit our need for the 8 division, 5 non-division games. I didn't want to do it from scratch because I didn't want people saying like, "Oh, Mark's playing Jobby when Peyton's on the bye week," or anybody, "Oh, Brock's playing." Ashley and Calvin Johnson's on the bye week, anything like that. I know doing it beforehand will kind of save some of that, but at the same time, I just didn't want anybody to think that there was some vendetta against the league or that I'm trying to take advantage of anybody. So I'm sure I'll still hear it a little bit, but that's all right. I got a couple notes real quick that I want to cover. When I do draw divisions, I'm just going to go, number 1 spot in the AFC, number 1 in the NFC, and then 2 spot, 3, all the way through 5. So we'll alternate back and forth just to kind of keep it even. So league fees real quick. Last year was $85, $10 for transactions. This year, I'm keeping the option open to do 100. What's an extra $15? Finally make the pot just $1,000 and leave it at that. Which make sure you bring your league fees the night of the draft or beforehand. I don't want to be chasing people down trying to get money and have to deal with that bullshit. So please bring them the night of the draft, whether it's a check, money order, cashier's check, cash. Quick pay me if you're a Chase customer. I mean, whatever we got to do to get the money in, just so I don't have to chase people down. We're grown men. This is your responsibility. So pay it on time and be done with it. Draft location and time. Draft is going to be at Aaron Presblinski's parents' house, 10 p.m. Central Time on August 24th. It is a Saturday. It is a later draft, guys. We are trying to accommodate the league. Keepers will be due that day by 8 p.m. We are just given 2 hours, pre-hand to get the keepers turned in. I think it's more exciting this way. Kind of creates a buzz at the draft on who's keeping who. Keepers will be due at 8 o'clock, and then keepers will be due at 8 o'clock p.m. Like I said, Jobby, if you can't be there, let me know. Text me your keepers, and I'll get them up by the deadline. Like I said, 8 p.m. is the due date. If anybody's going to try and, I'm going to wait until 9 or 10 right before the draft to get them up, I'm going to start docking your time on your draft picks. So what I'm thinking is the first 4 rounds, we're going to do 2 minutes a pick. The next 4 rounds, we'll do a minute and a half. The next 4 rounds, we'll do a minute. And then the last 4 rounds, we'll do 30 seconds a pick. So we'll make the draft move a little quicker. I'm going to try and get a big timer so that everybody knows how much time we have left. So, if anybody's going to try and be cute and I'm going to turn my keepers in at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, like I'll dock you, I'll make your first 4 picks a minute or, your first 4 rounds 30 seconds if you're going to try and do that. So, guys, just be a team player. Get your keepers in by the deadline. Respect the deadline. Try and keep it on a nice, we're already giving you plenty of time to keep them. You're not going to fool anybody. So just get him in by 8 o'clock. Jason, again, will officiate the draft. I really like it. Jason comes, for doing what he does. We give him free beer and food. So, Jason, we really appreciate it. We'd love to have you again this year. Making sure that, the draft runs smoothly. I'll have him running the timer as well. What will happen is if the timer runs out and you don't have a pick yet, I'll have ESPN's big board there, and we'll just draw the next best player available that they have, whether or not you already have a quarterback. Say if you draw Drew Brees and then the next best player available is Cam Newton, you're getting Cam Newton. So that's just how it's going to go. I'm not going to tailor to certain teams' needs. We're just going right there. It just helps the draft move faster because people are going to end up getting 2.5 minutes a pick and 3 minutes a pick. So let's just try and avoid that and make this draft move fast. The schedule, like I said, I will have ESPN generate that schedule, and then I will adjust accordingly to make it fit our frame of the 8 division games, 5 non-division games, and just making sure that moves smoothly. So nobody thinks I'm messing around. I'm just going to let ESPN take care of it and then adjust it accordingly. Worst record, I think, this was a great point brought up. I think Brock and Aaron brought this up, but having the worst record do something kind of humiliating, not in a sense of a tattoo or, running around naked. It's something stupid like that, but I think having it like weight hand and foot, like Aaron said, weight hand and foot on the champion the next year's draft, I think is a really cool idea. Just having to be his bitch for the day, I think is really cool because nobody wants to do that. So, if you're in last place and if the two worst teams are playing each other last week of the season, would you rather have the second pick and not be the bitch, or would you rather have the first pick in the draft but be the bitch of the draft and have to get the champion all his stuff? So, I think that's a cool idea. I brought up having to buy the draft board, but I think, that's kind of an unfair punishment having to, you lose out on your 100 if you put in, and then you have to pay 40 for the draft board. The champion the last 2 years has bought the draft board, so I think we will keep it that way, and just the champion buys a draft board. I think that's cool. So other than that, guys, that is really all I had to cover on my notes. So let's go ahead without further ado, get these fucking divisions drawn. Let's get it going. Like I said, I think hopefully we'll create some chatter in the league and get the buzz going around the league because the activity's been shitty. The first month I've had the page up. I know I started early, and maybe I'm thinking I'm just wanting more activity, but it's just still early. But I know Aaron's been on there, Joe's been on there. People have been voting on the polls, but there's just no activity in terms of the conversation. Nobody's posting anything. So I'm sure everybody's on there, but just try and be a little bit more on the forefront with some conversation, or maybe making a poll, something just creative. Because a lot of times it's the same 5-6 people on there, and we're missing out on those 4. So voice your opinions. I mean, by all means, that's what the page is for. So other than that, guys, like I said, I'm going to just bounce back AFC, NFC, 1 through 5, and get these divisions drawn. So here we go. Without further ado, this is a huge point in the season, making sure that everybody's see who you're going to play pretty much 65% of the time in these divisions. So first spot in the AFC. I grabbed 2 names. I'll reshuffle just so you don't think I'm messing around. All right, I got 1. Going to be Nico. Nico is the first spot in the AFC. Nico. Number 1 in the NFC is going to be Jared. Champion Jared, first spot in the NFC, defending back-to-back champs. Will he do it again? Let's hope not. Number 2 in the AFC is going to go to, I shouldn't have quad folded these, Brock and Dalton in the AFC. Going up against Nico, so we got Brock and Dalton. Dalton, welcome to the league, by the way. Good to have you back home, bro. And excited to have you in the league, definitely. So, number 2 spot in the NFC. I feel like I got 2. Number 2 spot in the NFC going to be Mark and Eric. So, Eric, welcome back to the league, buddy. Good to have you on my side. I think we're going to do big things this year. So me and Eric. 3 champions, the last 3 champions in one division right there. Look out. It's going to be top heavy. Number 3 in the AFC is Jeff. So brother-in-laws in the AFC. We have Jeff in the AFC with Brock, Dalton, and Nico. Number 3 in the NFC going to belong to Ashley. So Ashley in the NFC with me, Eric, and Jared. Number 4 in the AFC is going to be Jobby in the AFC with Jeff, Brock, and Dalton. That is tough. Peyton Manning joining that division. Never easy. We have 4 seed in the NFC. We have got Michael Scott, Michael Dwayne. Is he finally ready to stop being the doormat of the league? We will find out. He's got some solid keepers. I do feel bad for Josh Gordon, though. That is a terrible, terrible letdown for Mike. Number 5 in the AFC is going to be Joe DeBald in the AFC. So we got Joe, Jobby, Jeff, Brock, and Dalton, and then Nico in the AFC. So that would leave in the NFC, Aaron Presbolinski in the NFC. So actually, looking at these guys, just doing the eye test, they're pretty even. Yeah, you got Jared and me, top heavy in the NFC, but I mean, with the activity kind of spread around and the talent, I feel like it's pretty equal. Looking at, hell, I don't have the draft order on me, but it's just about even. So, I mean, really, guys, I'd have to look, but all in all, it doesn't matter. Divisions, like I said, everything's going to change with the draft. But this is what I have right now. We have Nico, Brock Dalton, Jeff, Jobby, and Joe in the AFC. NFC is going to be Jared, me and Eric, Ashley, Mike, and Aaron. So like I said, guys, just looking at it from a standpoint, one thing that I'm happy about is both of the league managers are in different divisions. That does help when it comes to trade talks. I know we are going to pretty much have no vetoes this year. I think that's the goal every year, but we're going to try and avoid those at all possible. Only in the case of dumping players is when we are going to put our foot down and veto a trade. But guys, looking at this, I mean, Nico has the first pick, Joe has the second pick. I believe Joe has the second pick. Mike has the third pick. Brock has the fourth. So, I mean, if you guys look at it in a draft standpoint, the NFC is stronger just in the back end. But the AFC is going to have that talent coming in now with the first few picks in the draft. So, I mean, if you look at it from a record standpoint, the AFC definitely, doesn't have the same. I'm sure the NFC is probably a better record than last year in the AFC division. So, I'll have to look that up. I'll create kind of a little friendly thing to see which division is tougher and everything. But so far, guys, the eye test, I think it's pretty fair. Just looking at who has who and the talent, I think it's going to turn out fine. It would any year. So anyway, I have Mike Scott in my division. I'm pumped. Thumbs up. So anyway, guys, wanted to get this video up and done, but we finally had division set up. So I will go ahead and get that schedule out as soon as possible. Don't expect it today, but if it's up, fantastic. So I will let you guys go. Enjoy your Sunday. It's 1 o'clock now, so I am about to do some yard work before it looks like it rains. So fun, and I will touch base with you guys soon, but go ahead, get on the board and start talking. So enjoy it, and we'll gear up for the draft. All right, later, guys.